I'd like to say great day to the viewing audience. Welcome to Walking in the Spirit, hosted by the Institute of Divine Metaphysical Research, Omaha. My name is Stephan Williams, and I will be your host for this day's program. We're going to continue on with our series entitled, The Universe by the Pattern. And I would like to ask the viewing audience to get out your Bibles, your notebooks, your highlighters, your pens, your pencils, and study with us. Let's continue on. Need to focus right here for the viewing audience. Get this in here real good. Planet Saturn represents the beast at the birth of the Messiah. And this is a pictorial illustration of the tabernacle pattern, which has the most holy place, a holy place in the court round about. Okay. And I just want to show what you want to be going over here. Okay. Like I said, once again, this is a pictorial illustration of the tabernacle pattern. It has the most holy place in the court round about. Okay. Nazareth of Galilee, like unto the most holy place, or conception of Yahshua the Messiah. Bethlehem of Judea, like unto the holy place, or the birth of Yahshua Messiah. And Egypt, like unto the court round about, or the flight of Yahshua Messiah, okay? And at the bottom here, outside of the tabernacle, okay, like the sister pattern, Saturn, okay, which is pictorial illustration right here of Saturn, the planet, okay? Planet Saturn, okay? Let's get back right up here for the viewing audience here. The planet Saturn here is a type and shadow of Satan. Okay. Saturn represents the beast or the dragon standing before the woman tabernacle, waiting to devour the child as soon as it was born. You can read that in Revelation 12 chapter from the Revelation 12 chapter verse 4 from the King James Version. Also Revelation 12 chapter 5th verse from the Holy Name Bible. I need that read for me, please, reader. Revelation 12 and 5 from the Holy Name Bible, please.
Revelation 12 and 5 out of the Holy Name Bible. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast him to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to deliver, for to devour her child as soon as it was born.
Thank you, reader. And on the east side toward the rising of the sun shall they of the standard of the camp of Judah pitch throughout their armies. That's Numbers 2nd chapter verse 3. For Judah prevailed above his brethren, and of him came the chief ruler, the birthright was Joseph. That's 1 Chronicles 5 and 2, Genesis 49 and 10, Micah 5 and 2, Matthew the 2nd chapter verse 6, and Hebrews 7 and 4. You're not reading it. On the previous page, it was shown that planet Jupiter depicts Yahshua the Messiah, Lion of the tribe of Judah. And right down here, on a pictorial illustration of the tabernacle pattern here, we have 12 tribes camped around this tabernacle here in the wilderness of Sinai. And this tribe down here is the lion tribe, the tribe of Judah down here. Okay? The planet Jupiter depicts Yahshua Messiah, Lion of the tribe of Judah. This gives Jupiter its rightful place at the gate of the tabernacle. So this is the gate of the tabernacle. Okay. However, planet Saturn represents Judas, or the satanic spirit, must be present also. Okay, so like I showed earlier, the depiction of Saturn here, likened to Satan. Okay, the same tabernacle pictorial here is same here. So we have like the tribe of Judah, likened to Yahshua Messiah. You also have Saturn, likened to Satan. Okay, on the outside. Okay, of the gate here. Okay, waiting to devour the child. Okay. However, planet Saturn, representing Judas, or the satanic spirit, must be present also, as he is sitting at the gate too. After the birth of the Messiah, the angel appeared to Joseph in a dream and told him to take the child and his wife and flee into the land of Egypt. See, to the land of Egypt here. Until he was told to come out, because Herod the king would seek his life. Herod prefigured the beast man of sin, just as planted Saturn depicts the beast or deception. The three compartments of the tabernacle coming from the most holy place to the court round about is representative to the birth of the Messiah Yahshua from Nazareth to Bethlehem to Egypt, or from heaven to earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour the child as soon as it was born. You can find that in Revelation 12 chapter, verses 1 through 6 verses. The four standards, the four beasts. Okay. So we had four ensigns that was around the outside of the tabernacle. Okay. You had the Judah, the lion tribe, had a ensign of a lion, picture of a lion here. On this side, you had Dan had an ensign on its flag, and the flag was of an eagle. Okay, then we have a flag here of a calf on the banner of the tribe of Ephraim. Then on this side here we had a flag on the tribe of Reuben, that had a pictorial picture of a man. So it spelled out the eagle, the lion, the ox, and the M for man, meaning Elohim. Okay? It says the four standards, the four beasts. Okay? There is one spirit and two manifestations of the one spirit. In other words, you have the mystery of Yahweh and the mystery of iniquity. Pan back over here for the viewing audience. Once again, there is one spirit, which is Yahweh himself. There's one spirit and two manifestations of the one spirit. In other words, you have the mystery of Yahweh and the mystery of iniquity. It is not our intention to mislead anyone to think that there is something wrong with the planets in our solar system. They, along with all physical things, are merely intended to understand the invisible presence of our Creator, who is Spirit. I need read from the reader, please, John, the 4th chapter, and the 24th verse, saying Yahweh there, please.
John 4 and 24 out of the Holy Name Bible.
Get right here, please, for the viewing audience. Zoom right all in, just the whole cloud, all the way in for as you can, please.
John 4:24 out of the Holy Name Bible. For Yahweh is spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
Thank you, reader. So it says Yahweh is spirit. And they that worship Yahweh must worship him in spirit and in truth. Thank you, reader. Therefore, it takes physical things or things that are made to understand the spiritual things. Romans, the 1st chapter, verse 19 and 20. Pure spirit, leave it here. Pure spirit cannot be discerned with the physical eye. Therefore, it must be understood with the eyes of understanding or by revelation. At the top of the page, we show how the four standards of the camp of Israel represented iniquity or darkness. We will show another illustration using the four standards to show righteousness or Yahshua the Messiah. Right here, please. John, the Revelator, in his vision while on the Isle of Patmos, it says Isle of Patmos in the Aegean Sea, John the Revelator is having a vision of Yahweh Elohim in AD 96. Excuse me. John the Revelator in his vision while on the Isle of Patmos saw them as four beasts around the throne of Yahweh. Get right around here. Get this all in here. I need read for me, reader, please. Revelation, the 4th chapter, verse 6, 7, 8, please.
Revelation 4:6-8, Holy Name Bible. And before the throne there was a sea of glass like unto crystal, and in the midst of the throne and around about the throne were four living creatures, full of eyes before and behind. And the first living creature was like a lion, and the second like a bull, and the third had a face as a man, and the fourth was like a flying eagle. And the four living creatures had each of them 6 wings about it, and they were full of eyes within, and they rest not day and night, saying, Holy, 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 Yahweh El Shaddai, which is, and which is to come.
Thank you, reader. Remember that Yahweh did dwell in the most holy place, in the cloud above the mercy seat in the tabernacle, according to Leviticus 16 chapter, verse 2. Each of these four beasts are a figure of Yahshua the Messiah, who is the lion, represented by the tribe of Judah, the lion tribe. The lion of the tribe of Judah, I need to read for me, reader, please. Genesis, the 49th chapter, verse 9 through 10.
Genesis 49, 9 and 10, out of the Holy Name Bible. Judah is a lion, lions from the prey, his son. Thy art gone up, he stooped down and crouched as a lion, and as an old lion, who rose him up. The sceptre shall not depart from Judah, nor the lawgiver from between his feet, until Sheol come, and he shall be the expiration of the people. Thank you, reader.
I need also read, please, Revelation, the 5th chapter, verse 5.
Revelation 5 and 5 out of the Holy Name Bible. And one of the elders said unto me, Weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the scroll and to loose the 7 seals thereof.
Thank you, reader. The ram, which is caught in the thickets, which Abraham was told to use as a substitute for the sacrifice of Isaac to Yahweh. I need read from reader, please, Genesis, the 22nd chapter, and verse 13.
Genesis 22 and 13 out of the Holy Name Bible. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him was a ram caught in the thickets by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered him up for a burnt offering in the stead of his son.
Thank you, reader. The man born of a woman. I need read for me, reader, please. Galatians, the 4th chapter and verse 4.
Galatians 4 and 4 out of the Holy Name Bible. But when the fullness of the time was come, Joshua sent forth his son, made of a woman, made subject to the law.
Thank you, reader. The eagle that stirred up her nest. I need read from reader, please. Deuteronomy, the 32nd chapter, verse 11 and 12, please.
Deuteronomy 32, 11 and 12 out of the Holy Name Bible. As the eagle stirred up her nest, fluttereth over her young, spreadeth abroad her wings, taking them, beareth them on her wings. So Yahweh alone did lead him, and there was no strange ale with them.
Thank you, reader. The 4 outermost planets represent the 4 standards of the tribes. So here's a pictorial illustration. The 4 outermost planets represents the 4 standards of the tribes. Okay? And you can find it in Numbers, the 2nd chapter, verses 3 through the 25th verse. You have the tribe of Ephraim, the tribe of Reuben, the tribe of Judah, the tribe of Dan, circling the outer part of the tabernacle, and the 4 planets circling the outer part of the greater and more perfect tabernacle of the universe. We have Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, and Pluto. Okay? All right. Thank you, reader. I need you to get right back here. Moses, Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and 7 of the elders of Israel were called up into the Mount Sinai, and they saw Elohim Israel. That's Exodus 24th chapter, verse 9 and 10. I need that read, please.
Exodus 24, 9 and 10 out of the Holy Name Bible. Then went up Moses and Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and 70 of the elders, and they saw the Elohim of Israel, and there was under his feet, as it was a paved work of sapphire stone, and as it were the body of heaven in its clearness.
Thank you, reader. Moses was called into the midst of the cloud here, and he saw Elohim transform into an intangible 3-fold tabernacle. He was then told to go down the mountain and build a tabernacle just like it was shown him in the mount, which is here. I need read from the reader, please. Exodus, the 25th chapter, verse 8 and 9, and verse 40, please.
Exodus 25, 8, 9, and 40. Out of the Holy Name Bible.
It's your turn.
Let them make me a sanctuary, that I may dwell among them, according to all that I showed thee after the pattern of the tabernacle, and the pattern of all the instruments thereof, even so shall ye make it. And look that thou make them after their pattern, which will show thee in the mount.
Thank you, reader. The tabernacle which Moses built was a figure of the body of Elohim, the son of Yahweh, which is here. Okay? The tabernacle in the wilderness was a figure of the body of Yahweh, Elohim, Yahshua. And Yahweh spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, every man of the children of Israel shall pitch by his own standard with the ensign of their father's house, far off about the tabernacle of the congregation shall they pitch. So here you go. It said the ensigns, which we already showed that 4 ensigns that was shown or flown around the outer part of the tabernacle. Okay, the eagle, lion, ox, the man. Okay, get right up here for the viewing audience, which is Elohim himself. Okay, the E is for eagle, the L is for lion, the O is for ox, and H-I-M meaning him, the man. Okay, that's Elohim. That's what the four enzymes capped around the tabernacle in the wilderness represented Elohim himself. Okay, and the tabernacle represented his body. Okay. Thank you, reader. And that can be found in Numbers, the 2nd chapter, verse 1 and 2. Satan was cast out of heaven from the presence of the Son of Satan was cast out of heaven from the presence of the Son into outer darkness. Therefore, the four standards and the four planets depict this. I need read for me, reader, please. Matthew, the 22nd chapter, and verse 13.
Matthew 22 and 13 out of the Holy Name
Get it right here.
Then said the king of the servants, bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into the outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Thank you, reader. You'll also read for yourself, viewing audience, Matthew, the 8th chapter, verse 12. Also, you can read Matthew, the 25th chapter, and verse 30. Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are the farthest in distance from the sun than the other planets. They are so far out in space that it takes a good, powerful telescope to see them. And just get right up here. So we have the sun here, you have Saturn here, and quite naturally, there's not a pictorial illustration, but there's other planets quite naturally in the solar system, okay? So once again, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are the farthest in distance from the sun than all the other planets. They are so far out in space that it takes a good and powerful telescope to see them. The farther away from the sun, the more unstable they become. Because of their distance from the sun, it represents them being in darkness. These planets are likened unto the fourth standard of the tri-camp around the tabernacle, which was a figure of the sun. The sun in the sky, which the planets revolve around, it merely points to the tabernacle with the tribes around it having a definite march order. And that can be found in Numbers, the 2nd chapter, the whole chapter. To get back down here for the viewing audience. So these tribes, 12 tribes, had a definite marching order. Okay? There was no darkness in the tabernacle, however, there was darkness on the outside, which was in Israel, although Yahweh called the cloud to be a pillar of fire by night and a cloud by day, kept them from physical darkness. Your turn. Go ahead, read. I need read for me, reader, please. Exodus, the 13th chapter, verses 21 and 22.
Exodus 13, 21 and 22 out of the Holy Name Bible. And Yahweh went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, to go by day and night. He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people.
Thank you, reader. Also read for me, reader, please, Nehemiah, the 9th chapter, verse 12.
Nehemiah 9 and 12 out of the Holy Name Bible. Moreover, thou leadest them in the day by the cloudy pillar, and in the night by the pillar of fire, to give them light in the way there wherein they shall go. Thank you,
reader. Sorry. Their darkness was in their hearts and minds because of their sins. I need a reference reader, please. Jeremiah, the second chapter, verse 31, please.
Jeremiah
Second.
2 and 31 out of the Holy Name Bible. O generation, see ye the word of Yahweh. Have I been a wilderness unto Israel, a land of darkness? Wherefore say my people, we are masters, we will come no more unto thee.
Thank you, reader. You can also pick that up in Romans, the first chapter, verse 19, 20, 21st verses. Also Romans, the 11th chapter, verses 7 through the 25th verse. And that will conclude another day's program. Until we meet again next week, I'd like to leave you with these few words. Righteousness, peace, and joy in the kingdom of Yahshua Messiah. Hallelujah.